going to talk about the changes that have happened in Rails 5 compared to Rails 4. Since we did the initial example of the training program in Rails 5, but we followed the book that was in Rails 4. So we ran into some roadblocks, as we say, because Rails 4 was a little bit different in behavior than Rails 5. So, okay, let's start. The first thing is the logo. They changed the logo to a more flat design. It's not a big deal, but that's something I noticed. The other thing, the two-star features of Rails 5, according to the Rails official blog, is action cable and API. So most of you guys already know. It's pretty important to me because I have used most of action cable and some features I'm going to tell. So I'm saying as I have read it. So action cable actually gives us the ability to include WebSocket programming into Rails 5. It's pretty new. I'll talk a little bit about action cable and API mode. API mode is generally where we actually use the Rails server as the backend to serve JSON requests in an API format. So action cable, it gives us WebSocket support inside Rails. It relies on Rails and Postgres, and there are a few dependencies for action cable which in the future releases they might remove. But for now, if you want to include, if you include WebSocket, you need Redis cache and some other features. And as of now, there are no tools for testing, writing tests for action cable. This is a big thing. Like they have opened a GitHub. They have actually opened an issue for that. That hasn't been closed yet. Their milestone is 5.0. We are hoping it will get close. So the thing is, they don't have any type of helper for testing what an action cable does or testing the functionality of that. That's what they're saying. DHS actually comments on this somewhere. Yeah. So that's about action cable. Other than that, there is the API mode. The API mode was initially a separate gem. It was a Rails API gem that we had to do and then build the generators accordingly. So as of now, the core team decided to merge the API mode into the Rails core itself. So we don't have to include any gems. And to actually make an Rails app with just the backend API, we have to do this command Rails new. Multiness is the name of the app. Multiness minus API minus API. That minus API flag will create the Rails app in API. So when it does that, the changes that are going to occur are the new application will include active mode with serializer. We will need to serialize the data. It will remove the jQuery and TurboLinks gem from the gem file, since there will not be any need for that. The application.rb, the config/application.rb and application controller will have an option API underscore only set to true. It won't check for CSR protection, and the action controller will subclass API. Yeah, the action controller thing will actually include. It will be like will take. Normally, we'll actually take the action controller directly by inheriting. Right? So this thing will actually inherit the action controller.
If you're generating a controller,
yeah,
the automatic thing will be from initial
action controller. Right?
So action controller base. It will be action controller activity.
API. Okay. Now, those are the main changes the Rails blog said. These are the other changes that I found. So I'll be going into each of them in depth. So the Rails 5 actually requires us to have Ruby version greater than 2.2, greater than or equal to 2.2. There are some reasons for that. So, okay, the second one is actually in previous version of Rails, we had to, for some tasks we did right, for some tasks we did right. So we actually decided to consolidate everything into that. Then there is an OR method, action record, active record relation belongs to has a different behavior, different behavior. Active record has a new attribute API. Active record has also a has secure token. Very similar to has underscore the secure underscore password. Yeah, we get into some slides. So other than that, we also gain the ability to render a template outside the console. So that's a big thing. It actually helps with the action table and activity of tasks. Then TurboLink 3. TurboLink is not a new feature, but they added something called partial replacement. You can actually specify which parts of the page we want to replace. So,
are you going to talk about?
Yeah, basically all these things are the next. So why the unit will be greater than or equal to. So one thing is a performance increment, which the new Ruby has the incremental garbage collector, which reduces the memory consumption to square. So then the ability to collect symbols. Because given in the block that we used to pass symbols all over Rails code. So previously there was no ability to actually collect symbols that we do not use. So the symbols would actually stay in memory, and passing a lot of symbols again and again will actually cause denial of service and run out of memory. Some reason related to that. So the new Ruby has the ability to collect symbols. Now the new syntax for keyword arguments they use a lot. Then the module hash prefix. Module hash prefix actually is used to duplicate another thing that was used inside Rails. That's coming. So the universal Rails coming. Which, as I said, there is no need to type Rails separately. Everything can be done using Rails. Write command is not gone. They have actually created a write proxy and it actually checks. If you type a command, Rails checks it can handle it. If you cannot handle it, it passes it off to Rails. That's how it works. So this is an example of Rails create Rails. Now the hash or method in relations, active record relations. So earlier we could not actually write some query like this. Like we could not write it with an or. We could write it with an and. Or functionality was not inside active. So,
but that can be implemented using SQL, right? Inside that.
Yeah, inside the SQL. So, in Rails 5, they actually added dot or function. So we can actually change this. Right. So, yeah, that's the same code written in SQL. The next one is belongs to. So earlier, when we wrote a belongs to association, it was not necessary that the thing that we added the belongs to actually was created first. There was an association, like so, and if a cart item belongs to a cart, earlier it was not necessary that the cart had to be created first. The cart item could be created first. So as of Rails 5, default behavior is if you want to create a cart item, you have to create a cart. Only after that, because it belongs to the cart. If that association is not present, throw it out. So this was something that we ran into when we did the exercise book. So it was on Rails and they created a cart without they created a cart item without creating a cart. So we can actually disable it. These are the two ways to override the behavior. If you want to simply disable it in that one model, you can actually write the optional to as pass it as an argument. If you want to do it all of the application, you can set the config this parameter to true. So we'll replace the order behavior. So now there is an attribute API in it. What this essentially does is, so earlier you had a class book, and when you did a quantity, whatever was the schema inside the DB, it used to come out. So if it was a plot, it would come out as a plot. So In this case, if you want the attribute in our class to be some other type, like an integer instead of float, you can actually specify that as an integer. And after that, from wherever we use, even if the data inside the DB is different, it's of a different schema, the thing that comes out will be modified with the attribute that we provide. So everywhere we will get an integer based on that. So this is what the attribute API does. This is how we do. Class book, we inherit that. Set the attribute quantity as integer. Then when you take it, it will only show you the integer part.
So if we create an instance, pass a float value and save it to the DB. Integer value and save it to the DB. We float, save it as float in the DB.
Now this thing has a hash secure token. So it's pretty similar to the hash secure password that was available. I have used hash secure password more in the Nautilus project that we can do. So hash secure token actually generates. We can give it to a user model or an active record model and say this actually defines the column in the model as always. By default, it will be token. So when we give this as secure token auth model, whenever we create a new user, the auth token will be automatically generated. We can use the token for other purposes that use uploads. So this is the same, almost gives us the similar functionality as that of the secure password. Yes, and we can regenerate the token. This actually helps us when we try to reset the password or things like that. And I think like the last time I used it, I used something very similar to actually do mobile authentication from my backend. So token-based authentication could be implemented in much easier way without using it. That's what I understood by requiring this. Okay, now the render template. We can actually render template outside the controllers. This functionality was given mainly because of ActiveJob and Action Cape. They required us to sometimes render things outside the controller. So what makes this happen is the action controller scope renderer. So these are examples to render an inline code. You do application controller dot render inline, pass it what you want to here, what you want to the text. To render a template, you give sample is a controller slash index. You can do that. You can actually there are two other methods too. To render an action, it should be to render an action. We actually do it from the controller of that action. Sample controller dot render the action. To render a file, we do a bit more complicated. Rails.root.join. App is the app folder. Views is a views folder. Sample is a controller, and index.html.erb is a file. We are actually telling it where the file is located. So that's how we render a file. So this is how rendering a template outside a controller works. There are also there are more options to this. Like we can pass the variables and things into the render template. I didn't.
How exactly will the rendering from an active? Where exactly?
Okay, so now TurboLink 3. TurboLink was available in the previous race. The 3 has a partial replacement. So we can actually define which content in the HTML that we want to replace, or which content we want it to be permanent. Like for instance, like in an e-commerce thing like Amazon, the navbar and the sidebar will most probably not change. The navbar will never change. It will always show the areas, the different categories. So that can be like in a TurboLink data. Yeah, you give the HTML attribute as data minus TurboLink minus permanent. So that content can be permanent. It only reloads. It only loads the thing in the first step. It won't reload it again. Inside the temporary field, you can specify things that will change over time. So the entire page won't be loaded only the content inside that tag, but we have specified this ID, this property. That's about TurboLinks 3. Now, okay, those are the additional features that came up. Now, these are the API duplications that came up. So, action mailer, they actually removed two methods, hash deliver and hash deliver back. I'm not too sure about how exactly they do it, like what exactly was the functionality that was provided by deliver and deliver back. They said they removed it, and this underscore path helper was also removed. After that, there are action track assertions. So this is a place that we actually encountered more problems. So basically, the thing is, it's pretty much related to testing, and yeah. So DHH opened a thread. He said testing instance variables inside your controllers is a bad idea. What he says is we can test the cookies, what HTTP code is returned, and how the view looks, what mutations happen to the DB. But testing what the internals of a controller does is bad. So by that logic, he actually took out assigns and run a template. So now it's not a preferred method now. Testing inside the controller, there is actually a talk about in some Rails one. I don't remember the video. I'll share it later. So they say in the talk they said if you are going to write controller test what the effect of the controller will be and not the internals of the controller. That was the main point that they tried to get. So yeah, so the assigns and render template, they were moved out into a separate gel. So if we have to do it, we have to include another gel and install it. So after that, there is a thing called alias underscore method underscore save. It was it was available in very old versions of Ruby up till now. What it was used to actually monkey patch things. So if you want to change something, change how param works, we used to do this. There's an example in the next page which explains that. So what because Rails 5 uses Ruby's newer version, the module hash prefetch is actually used instead of that. They're trying to leak Ruby specific code inside the Rails code. So they won't have to do separate to implement their own things separately. Yeah, so this is an example. This is how alias underscore method underscore params work. You wrote the action control of this, then you did params, patched params, and def params underscore with patch params and took the result, then modified the result, returned the result. I haven't shown the return result. It's just a return. So we can access this thing from here. This is how it used to work if you needed to monkey patch anything. With the new Ruby version, this is how it works. You create a module, you define the params, you take it from the super, you modify it, and in the end, you actually prepend the module to the application control. So this thing works. To me, it looks more cleaner. I haven't used this thing, so I don't know in depth about it, but it looks much more cleaner to me. And it uses a new Ruby features. Okay, so that's about it. There are more changes. There is a change in the test runner. They actually updated the. They are using mini test runner now, and they have updated it. So the output that comes right now is more like aspect. No, when we give aspect minus minus format documentation, runs like that. And there are small changes that they have tried to do in mini test to make it much more Rails specific. And there are a lot more changes here and there. So they have
about turbo links is could actually be very useful for low-end mobile devices. Instead of using a front-end framework like Angular or React, if you use turbo links to do the rendering, performance on low-end web apps will be so much better because they don't have to do any rendering on the client side. It can all be done in the backend and it would behave like a client-side app. So turbo links is very useful for that. In fact, Basecamp is using it very their mobile apps.
Yeah, most of the changes in Rails 5 are actually taken from Basecamp.
It's always
They always do that. First Rails came on
Basecamp. Yeah, and like Peter said, the turbo links, the partial replacement feature, that's actually a thread where DHH actually talks about it. Some person told the React way of only reloading the change in the DOM. They were talking about the difference between actually changing the inner HTML and changing just virtual rendering. Any questions? I don't know if I can answer the question, but then try.
Yeah, curious to know what they did in action later. Remove deliver. How will they deliver the name?
Did they remove both or deliver man? Just both.
No, both. Deliver and deliver back.
So what is the alternative for the deliver? Send, I think. Send. Then I've also got like rendering from the background job. Why do we need that? Why do we need to render?
No, I think it's for action cable.
Both. You mentioned both.
They told both, but action cable, there are examples for actually rendering from action.
I think the major thing that came out was the modernized render. It's a never new module now.
Okay.
That is the reason they can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's very interesting. Fun. The class always tied up with control. It took some time for me to visualize, okay, how we work. Like you mentioned.
Yeah, actually, I couldn't visualize the area of how to use it.
But when I saw action came, like it makes sense. Yeah.
You can actually use it to pre-render HTML and send it over as soon as we control it. Before, like, we can do the DB action earlier, even before the control. Could be.
That's the base doesn't have it. You can do that. And that often was interesting. I never knew. Every time when you create an app, you have to do that. You use take a random.
And one more thing, what we faced in our project is like accessing cache from the background source, similar to render. So maybe that thing also they could modelize, and now the cache accessing mechanism here can be only fired from controllers. Similarly, that also they are more render, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That can also be modelized.
Maybe it's happening.
Maybe.